Hi all, today we are going to study about numerical problems on single phase fully controlled rectifier for DC drive. Before moving to the numerical problems, we will first see why this particular values occur in the speed torque characteristics. For firing angle is equal to 0 during continuous mode of operation, that is towards the right side of this boundary, we will be able to obtain the relation for speed by putting the value of alpha as 0. Since this is during the continuous mode of operation, the value of torque is quite large. Even though the value of torque is quite large, it is not going to create any significant effect on the value of speed because the value of Ra is very small. Therefore, while putting the value of alpha is equal to 0, during continuous mode of operation, the value of speed becomes 2 Vm by pi k. That's why this particular value of speed becomes 2 Vm by pi k, because this particular value of speed is indicating the continuous operation speed for a firing angle of 0. Next point is regarding the value of speed at a torque value of 0. When the value of torque is 0, it corresponds to 0 current. 0 current comes into occurrence when neither of the pair of thyrostats are conducting. That is, the value of Ia becomes 0 when neither T1, T3 nor T2, T4 pairs are conducting. This occurs only when the value of E is greater than that of the input sinusoidal voltage or the instantaneous value of the input sinusoidal voltage. If you see in this characteristics for the firing angle from 0 to 90, for this thyrostats T1, T3 to be turned off, definitely the value of E has to be either greater than Vm sin alpha, or we can say the maximum value that corresponds to the firing angle of 90, that is a Vm sin 90's value must be equal to the back EMF value. Only in that particular condition, the thyristor pairs T1, T3 remains to be in turned off state. Similarly, if you are considering the firing angle of value greater than 90 up till 180 degrees, in this region, for thyristor pairs T2 and T4 to be turned off, definitely the value of back EMF, that is the value of E, must be greater than that of the value of Vm sin alpha. That points are very clearly given here. For T1 and T3 to be turned off, definitely the value of E must be equal to Vm sin pi by 2. As you all know that the value of back EMF is directly proportional to the speed, therefore we can say that E is equal to k into omega m0. So after making the substitution, we will say k into omega m0 is equal to Vm sin pi by 2, from which we can write the value of omega m0 is equal to Vm by k. So this is how the value of speed corresponds to the 0 torque point came to be Vm by k. Because 0 torque point corresponds to no conduction state. No conduction means neither the thyristor pair T1, T3 nor the thyristor pair T2, T4 are in conduction. In order for such a situation to occur, the value of back EMF must be greater than that of the value of the input voltage. So for firing angle corresponding to a value between 0 and 90, this will occur only when the value of E is greater than that of Vm sin pi by 2, or we can also write greater than or equal to. So from there we will be deriving the condition that Vm sin 90 is equal to the back EMF. Since back EMF is directly proportional to the speed, corresponds to the 0 torque value or when there is no conduction. So we will be able to write omega m0 into k is equal to Vm sin pi by 2. Since the value of pi by 2 sin pi by 2 is 1, we can write omega m0 is equal to Vm by k. Thereby we obtain the value of speed corresponding to the 0 torque as Vm by k. It's clearly explained here. You may go through this slide also. Next you will see the two-quadrant operation of this drive. As I have clearly mentioned in the previous session that the single phase fully controlled rectifier for DC drive works in two quadrants. That is, their operation is in first quadrant as well as fourth quadrant. The first quadrant is indicating the motoring mode of operation, whereas fourth quadrant is indicating the regenerative mode of operation. During the first quadrant operation, the value of armature terminal voltage or the value of input voltage to this DC terminals are positive 1. Whereas during the fourth quadrant operation, the value of the voltage which is being supplied here is actually negative. In both these quadrants of operation, the value of current remains to be the same. So for first quadrant operation, the polarities are shown here. So during first quadrant operation, since it's a forward motoring, the power has to be fed to this DC motor from this source. The source over here is actually the fully controlled rectifier. So for the first quadrant operation to happen, the power has to be fed from this fully single phase fully controlled DC rectifier to this motor. So during this particular operation, the polarities of the armature terminal voltage and the back EMF of the motor are shown here. In fact, the motor which is shown here is actually a separately excited DC motor. So the current will be flowing in this direction because this thyrostats are unidirectional device. So the current conduction can happen only in one particular direction, that is from bottom towards the upward direction. So for the current to flow like this, definitely the value of the armature terminal voltage must be very much greater than that of the back EMF. During this particular mode of operation, the direction of rotation is indicated as clockwise direction. During reverse regenerative braking mode of operation or the fourth quadrant mode of operation, the armature terminal voltage must be of opposite polarity as shown here comparing with this diagram. Here the armature terminal voltage polarity has been reversed. But in order to maintain the same direction of flow of current, definitely the polarity of back EMF also has to be reversed. That is achievable only when the direction of rotation of the motor is reversed. So comparing with this case, the direction of rotation of the rotor in this case will be anti-clockwise. In order to have the regenerative braking, definitely the motor must be having the characteristics of overhauling characteristics. That is, the value of back EMF must be greater than that of the armature terminal voltage. Then only the current will be flowing in this particular direction. That is, if you are making this regenerative braking mode of operation in comparing with this motoring mode of operation, here the power was flowing from this rectifier side to the motor side. This was possible because the value of VA was greater than that of the value of E. Here the reverse operation has to be achieved, that is, the power has to be fed back to the supply. That is, power has to be fed from the DC motor back to the rectifier. This is possible. That is, from the back to the rectifier means the power will be fed from DC source to the rectifier, and from the rectifier it will be fed back to the AC source. So if you are seeing here, this is possible only when the value of back EMF is greater than that of the armature terminal voltage. In order to maintain the same direction of current, the polarity of both this has to be reversed. That is, this particular mode of operation is possible only when the value of firing angle is greater than that of the 90. So from firing angle value varying from 0 to 90, we will be getting the motoring mode of operation. When the value of firing angle is greater than 90, we will be getting the regenerative braking operation. In this characteristics, it's showing the variation of the armature terminal voltage with the value of firing angle. When the firing angle is varied from 0. Next, we are going to see the variation of armature terminal voltage with the firing angle. For plotting such characteristics, we will assume that the motor is having, or the single phase fully controlled rectifier for DC drive is having continuous mode of operation. You very well know that during continuous mode of operation, the relation for armature terminal voltage is 2Vm by pi cos alpha. So for firing angle alpha is equal to 0, the value of the armature terminal voltage is 2Vm by pi, and when we are increasing the value of firing angle from 0 to pi by 2, the armature terminal voltage reduces from 2Vm by pi to 0. Thereafter, further increasing the value of firing angle, the value of armature terminal voltage increases in the reverse direction. That is, if you are seeing in this characteristics, it's very clear that when we are increasing the value of firing angle from 90 degrees, the value of armature terminal keeps on increasing in the reverse direction. That is, the value of armature terminal voltage is of negative polarity. That is very clearly indicated here also during regenerative braking mode of operation. Now let's see the numerical problems associated with the single phase fully controlled rectifier for DC drive. In this first problem, a 220 volt 1500 rpm 10 ampere separately excited DC motor. These are the specifications of the DC motor. It is being fed from a single phase fully controlled rectifier with an AC source voltage of the specification of the AC supply is also given. Armature resistance is 2 ohm. Conduction is assumed to be a continuous one. See, the conduction is assumed to be a continuous one. Calculate firing angles for half the rated torque and 500 rpm. The rated speed is actually 1500 rpm. You are asked to find the firing angles for half the rated torque and 500 rpm as the first part. In second part, you are asked to find rated torque and minus 1000 rpm. These two things are you are asked to find. First, we will see the first part. In the first part, you are asked to find the firing angle corresponding to the half the rated torque and 500 rpm. As all of us very well know that the speed is directly proportional to the back EMF, and the relation for back EMF is VA minus IARA. So we will find the value of back EMF corresponds to the rated speed. 1500 is directly proportional to 220 minus 20, it becomes 200. Similarly, we will find the speed back EMF relation corresponds to half the rated torque and 500 rpm. So the speed is 500 rpm. Since it's half the rated torque and the torque relation is directly proportional to IA, definitely the value of current in this term becomes IA by 2, because the value given here is actually half the rated torque. So the speed relation can be written as 500 is directly proportional to VA minus 5 into 2. Here at the rated condition it was 10 into 2. Thereafter, while dividing 2 with 1, we will be able to get the relation as 3 is equal to 200 divided by VA minus 10, from which we will be able to find the value of VA as 230 by 3. It's very clearly given that the mode of operation is a continuous one. Therefore, we will write the relation for armature terminal voltage as 2Vm by pi cos alpha, and we will equate this to the value of 230 by 3, and from which we can determine the value of firing angle alpha 68.27 degrees. It's very clear that the mode of operation is actually a motoring one, because the value of firing angle is less than 90 degrees. Moreover, you can say that the direction of speed is clockwise one, because it's given here as a positive value. Hence, the motor is having a motoring mode of operation. In the second part, you are asked to find the rate. In the second part, you may note a correction. Here it's not rated torque, here it's half the rated torque. So at half the rated torque, you will be able to write the relation for speed and back EMF. That is, speed is directly proportional to back EMF. So corresponding to the speed of minus 1000 rpm and half rated torque, you will be able to write the relation as minus 1000 is directly proportional to VA minus IARA. And the value of IA at half rated torque will be 5. Because at a full load condition, it's very clearly given that the rated current is 10 ampere. So we will be able to write the relation as minus 1000 is directly proportional to VA minus 10. So from the relation 1 and 4, we will be able to deduce that the value of VA as minus 370 by 3, from which we can find the value of alpha as 128.4. So the value of speed, or the value of firing angle corresponding to the speed of minus 1000 rpm is actually 128.4. This very clear that the value of firing angle is greater than 90 degrees. Whereas if you see in the first part, the speed was 500 rpm. So it's very clear while seeing this two portion, when the value of firing angle is less than 90 degrees, the direction of rotation is clockwise. Whereas if the value of firing angle is greater than 90 degrees means the direction of rotation is anti-clockwise one. Now let's see the next problem. The motor ratings are given as 200 volt, 875 rpm, and the rated current is 150 ampere. That is full load torque. That is, the rated current means the current corresponds to the full load torque condition, which is 150 ampere. Armature resistance is 0.06 ohm. It is fed from single phase fully controlled rectifier with AC source voltage of 220 volt, 50 Hz. Assuming continuous conduction, first you have to find the firing angle for rated torque and 750 rpm. Similarly, firing angle for rated torque and minus 500 rpm. Definitely this will be having a value of alpha less than 90 degrees, and this will be having a value of alpha greater than 90 degree. In the third part, you are asked to find the motor speed for alpha is equal to 160 degree and rated torque. Since the first two portions are very much similar to that of the previous problem, I am not explaining that. I will look into the third part. It's very clear given that the firing angle is 160 degree and you are asked to find the motor speed. So first we will find the value of armature terminal voltage corresponding to this firing angle. That is VA is equal to 2 Vm by pi cos alpha. We will be able to get the value of armature terminal voltage as minus 186 volt. And we will be using the relation VA is equal to E plus IARA. It's very clearly given that the torque condition is rated torque. Therefore the value of IA will be rated current, that is actually 150 ampere. Minus 186 is equal to E plus IARA, from which we will be able to find the value of E as minus 186 minus of 150 into 0.06, and its value comes to be around minus 195. From the standard condition, we very well know that at 875 RPM, the back EMF value is 191 volt. In the third part, we are asked to find the value of speed corresponding to a back EMF of minus 195. So by using the standard relation, speed is directly proportional to back EMF, we will be able to deduce the value of speed as minus 893.2 RPM. In these two problems, we have seen the speed control techniques which you have studied during your DC machines course only. In the next problem, we will use the relations which we have studied in the last session as well as in this session. In fact, this problem gives you a clear understanding about the concepts which we have learned so far. While discussing the second problem, the value of armature circuit inductance was assumed to be a 0,1. In this third problem, you are assuming that the motor circuit inductance value is not 0, it is having a value of 0.85 millihenry. That is, the load will be indicated as RLE. While considering this second problem, in this case the load was simply consisting of just RE load. The value of L was not taken into consideration. Since the value of L is not taken into consideration, hence we have assumed this as continuous mode of conduction. But in this problem, that is in the third problem, it's very clearly given that the value of L is 0.85 millihenry. You are asked to find the motor torque for firing angle is equal to 60 degree and speed is equal to 400 RPM. Since the motor circuit inductance is also taken into consideration, the load now seems to be of RLE load. We are asked to find the value of motor torque corresponding to the firing angle of 60 degrees and a speed of 400 RPM. In order to find the value of motor torque, we have to determine the value of armature current. In order to determine the value of armature current, we have to determine the value of armature terminal voltage. That is, only if we know the value of VA, we will be able to identify the value of IA. The value of IA can be identified by using the relation VA by RA. Only if we know the value of IA, we will be able to determine the value of torque by using the relation torque is equal to K into IA. So we have to first see whether this speed is lying in the continuous mode of operation or in the discontinuous mode of operation. This can be determined only if we know the value of critical speed corresponding to the firing angle alpha is equal to 60. Critical speed corresponding to the firing angle alpha is equal to 60 is indicating the speed at this particular point of operation. Because at this particular point of operation means this is actually the boundary which is separating the discontinuous mode of operation and continuous mode of operation. At this particular boundary point corresponding to the firing angle of 60 degrees, what will be the value of speed? That will be the exact value of the critical speed corresponding to the firing angle of 60 degrees. The value of critical speed is determined by using this relation, that is equation number 9. In this relation, the value of Z is determined by using the standard relation square root of Ra square plus XLA square. All the parameters corresponding to this are given in the problem itself. The value of alpha is 60 degree and the value of phi can be obtained from the impedance triangle, that is phi is equal to tan inverse XLA divided by Ra. Remaining all parameters are obtained from the question itself. Hence we can determine the value of critical speed as 28.8 radians per second, which is same as that of 275 RPM. But you are asked to find the value of torque corresponding to a speed of 400 RPM. Since the value of this speed 400 RPM is greater than that of the critical speed, so it's very clear that the mode of operation at 400 RPM is a discontinuous one. That is, from this characteristics we can explain that the critical speed corresponds to firing angle 60 degrees comes at this point, and the value of this speed is around 275 rpm. We are actually asked to find the value of torque corresponding to 400 rpm. 400 rpm comes somewhere around this particular point. Okay, you just need to imagine that only this characteristics is present in this graph. Just don't see all the other characteristics corresponding to the other firing angle. So the speed corresponding to this point will be 275 rpm, and the 400 rpm comes somewhere around here. Since this 400 rpm point is lying towards the left side of the boundary, so definitely the mode of operation is actually a discontinuous one. Now, in order to determine the value of armature torque, we have to find the value of armature voltage first. That is armature terminal voltage. In discontinuous mode of operation, armature terminal voltage is determined using this relation. The derivation of the same relation is very clearly explained here. VA is equal to 1 by pi Vm cos alpha minus cos beta plus E into pi plus alpha minus beta. That same relation is being used here, but the value of beta is not given in the problem. So we have to determine the value of beta because all other parameters are given except the value of beta. The value of beta is determined by using this relation, that is Ia of beta is equal to 0. You must remember the standard relation of this current, then only you will be able to find the value of this beta. So using this relation 6 in our problem, see this is actually the relation 6 or equation 6, and using this relation in our problem, we will be able to determine the value of beta by using trial and error method, and we will find the value of beta as 230 degrees. Once after the value of beta is determined, we can find the value of VA by making suitable substitutions. After determining the value of VA, we can easily find the value of IA as VA minus E by RA, and it comes to be around 512 ampere. Next, we have to find the value of torque. As we very well know that torque is directly proportional to Ia, and torque is equal to KIA. From the relation of back EMF also, we know that back EMF is equal to K into omega m. Both the values of K are one and the same. If you analyze the basic relations, you will be able to know that is EB is equal to 5 PNZ by 60A, and TA is equal to 0.159 5ZIA by 5ZIA into P by A. If you analyze those two relations, you will be able to determine the value of K, that is the constant terms are one and the same. So K is equal to E by omega m, from which we can determine the value of K, and the same value of K has to be substituted here in order to determine the value of armature torque. This problem is very important. In the previous two problems, the value of inductance was not taken into consideration, that is the load was assumed to be a RE load. In this problem, the inductance value also taken into consideration. When the inductance value comes into the picture, there is a chance or there is a probability for the motor to have either continuous mode of operation or discontinuous mode of operation. In this problem, you are asked to find the value of torque corresponding to firing angle of 60 degrees and speed is equal to 400 rpm. So first we have to determine the value of critical speed. This is done in order to analyze whether the mode of operation is in discontinuous mode or in continuous mode. So after determining the value of critical speed by using the standard relation, we have found that the speed at which the torque has to be determined is greater than that of the critical speed. So it's very clear that the mode of operation is a discontinuous mode. So next we have to find the armature terminal voltage using the standard relation for discontinuous mode of operation. In continuous mode of operation, the standard relation was 2 Vm by pi cos alpha. It was more easier comparing with that of the discontinuous mode of operation, because in discontinuous mode of operation, the relation for armature terminal voltage is this one. So in order to find this value of VA, we have to determine the value of beta, that it can be achieved by using the standard relation Ia of beta is equal to 0. And by using the trial and error method, we will determine the value of beta as 230 degrees. So after making the substitution here, we will be able to find the value of VA. Hence, thereafter we can easily determine the value of Ia, followed by finding out the value of armature torque. With that, we are completing today's session. In the next session, we will be seeing single phase half control rectifier for DC drive and their associated numerical problems. Thank you.